Hey, hi there. It's another cool morning, birds are chirping, everything is good. And so I wanted to share with you something quite fascinating. When it comes to money, when it comes to money, you need to respect money for you to be able to make money. What do I mean? It's quite interesting that a good number of people out there don't understand or don't know how money works. But the reality is that you need to respect money for you to be able to make money. I'm going to break it down for you. You are all much welcome to the Money Daily YouTube channel. My name is Afagza Sifunam. And by the way, if you're new here, kindly consider subscribing for you to be getting such awesome videos regularly. The starting point for us to appreciate this is that we need first of all to understand how money works. What do I mean? We need to know very well how money is made, how it is handled, and most importantly, how it is multiplied or invested, which actually is a very big gap. And I'm saying so because a good number of people out there have a sense with regards to how money is made, okay? How money is spent. Of course, everyone out there knows because we all have expenditures. Talk about, for example, you need to buy food, you need to pay rent, you name it. Everyone out there knows how money is spent, but only a few number of people out there have perfected the art of actually multiplying money through investing. And that's why we have a gap. A good number of people out there actually are working very hard their entire life and they could just end up dying broke. Reason being, they don't understand the science of money, which I'm going to explain to you. Money essentially has four things in it. The very first thing is something called income. Income is essentially what you get, how you get your money. To give you an example of income is, for example, maybe someone is working somewhere, they're on a payroll. So they're getting a given monthly salary, okay? Maybe someone is out there doing business and as they're doing business, at the end of it, they'll be able to make something. We're talking about them being able to get a profit from their business, okay? Maybe someone has some houses out there, so they are able to get or command rental income. That is income, okay? Even another example is maybe someone out there could have invested in markets, so they are getting dividends of their investment. Talk about, for example, stocks or even bonds. That is income. All these are income sources. But at the moment, we all know that the most dominant income source for many people out there is salaries, because a good chunk of people out there are employed, and as such, they dominantly make their money or get their income through salaries, okay? That's the first batch of how money flows. And then the second item under this is actually how money is spent. And that is where I've said everyone out there knows about that bit. And I'm saying so because out here, everyone has expenses. Whether you're talking about the money you required to pay rent or to pay for a house, maybe you have a car bill you're supposed to pay, the money you require for you to get groceries and so forth. Each and everyone out here knows about expenses. Expenditure is a constant thing. And of course, each and everybody out here incurs expenditure, albeit at different proportions. And I'm going to talk to you about the ideal proportions at the very end. And then the third way money flows is also through something called liabilities, which, by the way, is a very huge trap because a good number of people out there are caught up in liabilities. Talk about, for example, loans. Talk about, for example, mortgage, okay? Talk about, for example, someone having maybe a constant payment to insurance scheme and so forth. And then the last bit, which is the fourth bit, is something called assets. That is where the magic happens. Putting your money in assets is what is going to lead to you getting an additional income or even a return. So, having shared all this with you, you might be wondering, exactly what are you supposed to do for you to be able to, at the end of it all, be able to see how you multiply your money? Be able to see how you can increase your money. Guys, you can only increase your money through two of these things I've talked about. You can either increase your income sources, or alternatively, you can increase your asset base. Through that, you're gonna be able to build that particular loop, which is very fundamental and critical in assisting you get more and more money. But if you don't capitalize on these, you'll end up being in a trap whereby you are chasing liabilities and also you are constantly chasing expenses. So ensure you plan yourself very well to see how best to capitalize on investing in assets. And I'm talking about, for example, assuming you are in employment out there, you are maybe getting a salary or so forth, you are in business, you are making something extra each and every day. Think about how that particular money you're making, you don't spend the entire of it. Save some of it for the purpose of investing in assets. If you end up, for example, spending the entire of it on expenditure, it's gonna be an uphill task for you in the long run, because you're gonna end up working to feed your stomach. You're gonna end up working to be able to ensure you cater for your appetites, which are useless. Like, for example, spending your entire money on drinking, spending your entire money on cheap trips and so forth. You need to be banking on investing in assets for you to be able to actually see your money grow over time. Unfortunately, if you don't invest in assets, you'll end up working very hard your entire life instead of working smart to see that your money also works for you. But think about it this way. What if the money you're getting, you say, for example, 50% of it is going towards assets? Maybe you're putting your money in the stock market. Maybe you decide to put your money in real estate, okay? Maybe you decide to put your money, for example, in bonds, you name it. All these have a good return. Talk about somewhere between 5% to even almost 20% annually. That, guys, could be life-changing and good money. Let me give you an example. For example, you have 1 million. You put it, for example, in bonds. Maybe it's a fixed infrastructure bond, which gives you a good return annually at 12%. We are talking about you being able to get 120 each and every year. In reality, and also in a good number of places out there, this is sufficient amount of money to assist someone be able to lead a good life just off the dividends alone, without even them needing to work abnormally hard to eke a living again over and over, right? So for you to be able to really work towards obtaining the much elusive financial freedom, bank on assets. Yes, you could be getting little income, but also know that for you to be able to invest, you don't need to have a very crazy sum of money. You can start small. You can start with 100. You can start with 1,000, 10,000, you name it. Start small, and then over time, be able to use some tactics like, for example, dollar cost averaging, for you to be able to increase your initial investment. And then ultimately, this investment is gonna go a long way in assisting you be able to build sustainable income sources. Guys, that is how people out here are able to make awesome amount of money. That is how people here are able to build wealth. Over time, all these efforts are gonna compound towards you even not needing to work for anyone, because your money is gonna be working for you. But if you don't understand how money works, unfortunately, you'll end up toiling your entire life and ultimately even die miserably. Think about it and go ahead, take action, and be sure things are gonna be okay. Thanks a lot for watching. I look forward to share with you other awesome videos next time. Bye bye, and you all stay safe.